As time became the future, in a place known as Los Angeles, its inhabitants learned that mobility determines destiny. During much of the 20th century, people selected their transportation modes based on personal needs. How one's travel impacted the greater community was rarely a deciding factor. But the toll of people and their vehicles on the Earth's precious land and air forced a new framework to be forged for mobility, and more importantly, for personal survival. It was a combination of worldwide technologies that brought congestion relief to Los Angeles. No single invention, no one agenda, not even one organization held the answer, but a collaboration of the minds and muscle of many who recognized their work would be continued by the next generation, formed a new era of transportation in Los Angeles. Before the 20th century ended, the local and state transportation agencies created a plan, albeit one that would undergo many revisions, that served as a guide to the future. The metro system grew from individual freeways, bus lines, carpool lanes, and rail lines into a network that included magnetic levitation, monorail, people movers, and personal aircraft. The emerging system began to change the cityscape. The public's new travel attitudes and behavior altered the urban patterns. Rail stations became neighborhood centers, assets to the community, enhanced by public art, conveniently located next to services and stores. These joint development opportunities created revenues for additional transit construction and operation. One new transportation improvement fostered the growth of another. A successful system in one community created demand for the same in another location. The public became advocates for transit. Since its creation in 1939, downtown LA's Union Station was a hub for the railroads. For many years, it slid into semi-retirement, but the Great Commuter Rail Revival, starting in 1992, ignited rail travel and brought life back into the majestic station. The commuter rail network, named MetroLink, connected Los Angeles to all its adjoining counties. Popular from the beginning for their smooth, fast ride, the trains increased their 85-mile-per-hour speeds when tilt trains were introduced, allowing faster speeds around curves. When it was feasible and affordable, the trains began using alternative forms of energy, such as electricity, helping to advance the fight against air pollution. At one time or another, each of the metro system's new projects suffered slings and arrows. But the detractors' voices have long since faded away. Hundreds of thousands of passengers ride the Red Line, the Blue Line, and commute on the Orange East and West Line. Los Angeles, home to the nation's first freeway, had the distinction in 1994 of opening the last major concrete and steel highway. Named after a giant in the region's transportation history, Congressman Glenn Anderson, the 17-mile freeway was heralded as one of a kind. On this new freeway, as well as on the older ones, highway engineers gave priority to high-occupancy vehicles. Older freeways were retrofitted with carpool lanes. The new freeway had as its centerpiece the fully automated Metro Green Line, flanked on either side by carpool lanes, in addition to regular traffic lanes. Extensions of the Metro Green Line soon carried passengers through the South Bay into Torrance and northward all the way into the San Fernando Valley. The second level of the mighty double-decked Harbor Freeway, built for bus and carpools, was so successful that it was extended down to the port. The introduction of monorail to the Los Angeles landscape brought added access to communities and cleared congested corridors. Magnetic levitation, the master of high-speed travel, was built to carry passengers longer distances, becoming a viable alternative to airline travel between cities. Then, within communities, people needed a system to get from the rail station to their ultimate home or work destination. The solution was the people mover. Los Angeles turned into a laboratory of transportation solutions, forged by people working together, the policymakers, business leaders, environmentalists, and regulators. And, as in the past, the world kept its eye on this small corner of the planet called Los Angeles and noted its influence for generations to come.